Hey you guys, welcome to part 4 of Faith Talk. At this point, you're probably like, this guy needs to stop applying to jobs because these stories continue to get more ridiculous. But this is the truth about what's been going on in my faith journey. And if you can remember last time, the last part I was talking about coming from a film creative job I was only at for 3 weeks. And that job was absolutely awful. It was toxic. I was basically lied to and caught off guard as to what I thought I was going to get myself into. And now I'm back again at the university job that I had left. And one thing that I forgot to mention in my last video is how the job that I went to only for 3 weeks. God will never send you to a place where you have to compromise on your integrity or on your values, on your ethics. That's not something that He would put you into. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have to compromise on your values or your morals, then you know already that that's not a place that you were called to be at. But anyway, coming back to the job that I was at literally 3 weeks later, obviously, I had to swallow a lot of pride. I was really ashamed, honestly, and I was really embarrassed because I was telling everybody I was going to this new job that was more aligned with my career trajectory and my goals, and I didn't think I was going to come back that quick. And the job that I was telling people about, I was telling people that it was like connected to Hollywood, and I was going to be meeting all these cool executives, which I did in the first few days, but I really hyped it up, and then I came back with my tail between my legs, so to speak. So just that, honestly, that feeling of having to kind of walk back and have to retell that story to so many people was really hard. It made me feel really small. It made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm sure people were kind of talking behind my back about how stupid I looked, but it is what it is. Sometimes that's what happens when we disobey, but I got through it, and eventually I got over it, and it wasn't a big deal. But as I was coming back to my university job, more people were leaving the university, so that was pretty interesting. More people were finding jobs and were moving on with their lives, and I kind of was doing this like revolving door trick, which made it even more hard to come back because they were probably going to things that were actually going to work out for them, which I tried to do for myself, and that didn't happen for me. And what was also hard too was, if you can also remember, before I had left my university job, I was actually offered a promotion that I turned down. And if I had taken that job, I would have been making more money. So I lost out on that too because of my disobedience. So that's something that, stinks, but, again, that's sometimes we have to pay a price for not making the best decisions in life. And I kind of saw my same job at the university as in a different light this time. Of course I was itching to leave the last time, but this time I had much more appreciation for the people there. I always had appreciation for my job and for the environment and the people, but I think what I went through at this second toxic job made me appreciate it even more, if even possible, this time. And so, I come back, I kind of picked up from where I left off. People were really happy that I came back because they didn't really know how to do my job, but I continued to run the office, hire new students, continue to build up the team and do all the stuff that I was doing. So now we can kind of fast forward like a year, and now I've been back for a year, and now I'm starting to itch again. I'm starting to think about what's next. I'm starting to get tired of my job again. I'm starting to think about, what else can I do? The the same, I'm not making enough money, I need to do something more with my life, thoughts start coming into my head. And I wanted to be careful, especially because of what happened last time. But I was applying to different jobs. I was looking at, my mind was pretty open. I was applying to, jobs in the U.S., jobs outside the U.S., in other states, other towns. Like, that's not something that I even really was open to doing a long time ago. But for some reason, I just, I wanted to just kind of see what would happen and cast my net pretty wide. But I wanted to make sure that this was the right option. I didn't want to make the same mistake again, because I really can't make that same mistake again. And so I decided to fast and pray and kind of read my Bible and just kind of figure out like what God wanted me to do in this time, right? And I always fasted and prayed, even in the previous videos I talked about, but the last time before I picked that last toxic job, God gave me a dream, but I never asked for discernment about the dream, and that's what the issue was. I just assumed that I was supposed to get the job because they offered me the job, but that was more so a warning and not necessarily like a golden ticket to kind of move forward on that. So this time I was fasting and praying and kind of asking God, I'm getting kind of tired of this job again, but I mean, if you want me here, that's fine, but honestly, God, like, I can't do this anymore. Can you please open up a new door? Can you please do something? And I remember there was this new job that had opened up at my university, and it was offering a lot more money. It's not really something that I really wanted to do, but I figured, hey, like, I'm still at the university and maybe I can just, force myself to like it and make some more money. At this point, I should know that, the whole making more money thing is not really my jam. It's not really working for me, but, I guess I didn't learn my lesson still. But I applied for this kind of like executive job, and that was kind of pending on the side. But I remember I was getting really depressed again, really heavy-hearted, really kind of sulky, and I remember it was the last day of my fast, and I was sitting in my office. It was like 5 minutes to closing. I think it was like 4:55, and I was just kind of like, I don't know what's next for me, and I'm just kind of tired of waiting. And I remember the director of our office, of our team, like, walked into my office, and she literally just said to me, hang on, I'm making a job and it's literally for you. I'm like writing the job description, I need to get it approved, but if you want it, it's yours. She was like, just hang on, like, just hang in there, because I think she kind of knew. I think I had told her like I was applying to other jobs. At that time, like, she wasn't like over me directly. I had like I was a part of like a different faction of the office team, but she knew that I was looking to leave, and she didn't want me to leave because she knew the value that I brought to the suite. So I was like, okay, God, I see you speaking through people, and okay, I'm gonna try to hang on and just listen. I think this is what you want me to just take this new job that they're making for me. And so I remember I was still moving forward with the interview process with the other job at the university, and I got called in for a phone interview. And the day of the phone interview was really interesting because during that day we had like 2 crazy like student emergencies happen on campus, and everyone in the office like literally had to like leave the office to go address those things, and I was literally like the only person left in the office, and I had my door closed. Like, I was secretly doing this phone interview that no one really knew about. And I always call it like the day of adversity, because like, I mean, we had police and all types of stuff on campus. Like, it was just crazy. And I was like, why is all of this happening like while I'm trying to do my interview? But after I did the interview,